If you were no longer affected by the judgment of others and you stopped judging yourself, would you make different choices? Why make choices in your life based on judgments instead of on your awareness of what would create the life and living you desire? Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices Radio Show, Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm.
And here we are, another show of Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm, and I am your host for tonight's rockin' show, Christine McIver. How are you all doing? It is first week of January 2016, and it has been a rocking week on the radio station. We have had so much fun, and the creativity and the space that all of the hosts are stepping into is extremely exciting. I have the pleasure of being on a lot of the shows producing, as well as popping in to listen and play. And I'm telling you, we are turning it up. And I'd like to know, are you turning it up in your life? Are you turning it up in your business? Are you choosing more for you, or are you distracted? So tonight's show is Don't Let Rainbows Distract You. We're going to get into this show. Not sure where it's going to go, but by the end of it, I'm sure we'll have a really good idea what we want to do with it. So how does it get any better than that? My name is Christine McIver, and if you don't know anything about me, I'm about to tell you something, so listen in. I would love to be your possibilities coach. Working together, we will co-create the living and loving you desire with all the possibilities available in the universe, and there are an endless amount of possibilities. I am an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, a BARS Facilitator, a Possibilities Coach, Energy Healer, radio show host, producer. I'm also the owner of A2Zen.fm. How does it get any better than that? I'm also a businesswoman who teaches other people how to step into creating their businesses from ground zero or from expanding from where it is today. I have 20 years in human resources. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a young woman, and I love creating. That is the bottom line. So if you have an idea that you would like to explore, if you have some things that you would like to talk about and change in your reality, I would love to be the coach that does it with you. I have a lot of different programs, 2 or 3 of them that I really, really love. The first one is completely drawing a blank. Don't you just love that? Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, yeah, there it is. Divorce with Dignity. It's a program that started to evolve. I know, it's quite funny. Squirrel moment. I was a little distracted, okay? If you don't know about the chat room, you got to come play in the chat room at A2Zen.fm, because that is where there's a lot of conversation goes on, a lot of laughter, and that's where sometimes I get pulled in. So the Divorce with Dignity program actually came out of coaching a number of individuals early in my coaching career in my business, and I am divorced, and what I do is actually teach a lot of men what not to do with their wives as they're divorcing that maybe they'd rather not create crazy with. And I know this pretty well because I was pretty much a crazy one. So I'm like, no, don't do that, because this is what's going to happen. So that's one of my programs. Another program I have is Be the Dominatrix of Your Life, the Dominatrix program, and it's really about stepping in and leaning in and having more of what you desire no matter what, at any cost, having it all. And I've had a number of radio shows that I've done on that. I was a guest speaker on the summit. And it is an amazing program that I really love, and I really do embody that in my own life. So that's another program. You can check both of those out at inspiredchoices.ca. And the newest program that's coming up, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more during the show, but the newest program is called BIG, which stands for Bodacious Invitation to Greatness. And that is a new program that I've been co-creating with a potent woman by the name of Rhonda Burns. She is my cohort in creation on this one, and we are having a heck of a time playing, creating, following what that creation desires to be. And earlier today, on January the 6th, 2016, her and I did a show, and it was called WTH is BIG. So what the heck is BIG? It was a potent call. Oh my goodness. So creating is something I absolutely love. I get such a huge charge out of it. And what else is possible that you've never even imagined before? So someone just said, just saw a social media post called "The Greater Your Storm, the Brighter Your Rainbow." Isn't that interesting? Well, tonight's show is called Don't Let Rainbows Distract You. And those rainbows are, they can be pretty potent. So do you desire something new, different, amazing, and you can't figure out what, where, or when? How many rainbows are you following, hoping the pot of gold will be there, and you don't actually have to do anything? Paralyzed by all the creations of everyone else, and now you can't begin, let alone be successful. So this show is going to go into a lot of interesting places and spaces, and I would love to have you join me in the chat room, or better yet, call in with some questions. And let's talk about what's distracting you, what's stopping you, what's paralyzing you, and what is actually not moving you forward in the places and spaces you would love to move forward. So my name is Christine McIver, a Possibilities Coach, and tonight we are going to step into the possibility of coming out of distraction. So what is a distraction? Well, if you are with the body of work with Access Consciousness, and I am an Access Consciousness facilitator, we talk a great deal about distractors. And a lot of the energy with distractors are things that keep you from the truth of what really is being created and occurring. And I'm not going to go into that part of distractors so much. I really want to talk about this from a creation perspective, from a business perspective. But I am going to talk just a little bit about those distractors. So those distractors within Access Consciousness, when we're talking about those distractor implants, we're talking about distractions that are stopping you and that are really ignoring the truth of what is occurring for you. So, for instance, let me give you an example, and you can certainly check out all of the distractor implants if you're interested in taking any of their classes. They'll definitely educate you on the distractor implants. But you could go over to accessconsciousness.com. There's a blog there. There's lots of information. You can just Google Access Consciousness distractor implants, and you will find out a lot of information. But a quick example of a distractor is if you get angry. Okay, so let's say you have, and I'm going to use a personal example. Let's say you have a teenager who's angry at you, and they're yelling, and they're really lashing out at you. If you would ask truth, what's really going on here, you might get to the energy of that child is scared, or that child is lost. That child is reaching out for help, but the way that it's actually coming out is in anger. So the truth is not anger. The truth is something else underneath it. So one of the tools of Access is if any of these distractor implants come up, if anything is something that you cannot change, just ask all the distractor implants connected to this, destroy and uncreate it all. And then the clearing statement, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. That's the simplistic piece of the distractor implants with Access Consciousness. So I did want to talk about that because, of course, a lot of you are definitely involved with the body of work, and it is an important piece that has been a huge contribution to me and in all of my creations and in my personal life. So that being said, tonight is about rainbows distracting you. So are you someone that has ideas that you would like to create? Can I get an amen? and you get these ideas. The ideas start to come. And then there we go. And then we got some amens in the chat room. And before you know it, you are completely going off in a different direction. You've taken a U-turn on the highway of creativity, of expansion in your life and your business, and you have completely derailed from that creative idea that dropped in. A lot of times, what we are doing is we are not acknowledging the idea, fully acknowledging it. If you are someone who gets lots of ideas that are popping in all of the time, and you go, oh my gosh, that would be a great idea. Oh my gosh, that would be a great idea. Oh, what if somebody did this? And what if somebody did that? If you have lots of ideas that are popping, but you're not actually acknowledging those ideas, it's going to be very easy for you to become distracted by the rainbows. It's going to be very easy for you to become distracted by the self-judgment. Okay? So if you are someone that has lots of ideas, the very first thing I'd like to invite you into, step number 1, acknowledge the idea. Now that doesn't mean doing anything. It's just acknowledging the idea. So what if you had an idea and you didn't acknowledge it? Has this ever happened? That you had the idea and then 3 months, 6 months down the line, all of a sudden, you see somebody else has actually brought that idea to fruition? Anybody else? That absolutely has occurred with me, for damn sure. In fact, was really funny is in college, one of my programs that I took was about marketing, and we had to develop actually a product or a service. And this is going to be very funny. I developed a product called it was called the PP. I think it was 3 Ps, but I'm just getting 2 Ps in my head right now. And it was the personal protector. And what it was actually a toilet seat cover, like, a disposable toilet seat cover. And I had them, they were in like a little portable Kleenex container that you could carry around. A woman could carry in her purse, a guy could carry in his pocket. And it didn't have the idea of actually being set up in the washrooms, but something that you would carry with you. So I had this whole idea that I developed, but I didn't follow through with it. And then today, as you know, that idea is out there and very much in actualization in many, many public washrooms. So first of all, acknowledging your idea is an amazing step. And then the next thing to do is to actually write your idea down. When you write your idea down, you start to bring it in to the creative energy. Now, that idea may not actually be completely birthed, but it may be something that feeds the next idea and the next idea and so on and so forth. But do you know that actually having creative ideas is a muscle that when you actually begin to exercise it and play with it can create greater? So we are going to go for a quick break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to continue to step into the whole energy of ideas and how to bring them to fruition and how to recognize when you're being distracted and when it's not a distraction but a nudge from the universe. I like to say that the universe often takes us on a treasure hunt. So I'd like to show you the distinction between the two and how you can step into and acknowledge, okay, truth, is this a distractor or is this a nudge from the universe? All right, so please stay tuned, and you are listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm with myself, Christine McIver, and tonight we're talking about don't let rainbows distract you. Stay tuned. We will be back right after this break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right. Sticking around tonight, everyone. So tonight on Inspired Choices Radio, we are talking about distractors and rainbows, and are you being distracted from the rainbows? So rainbows can be something that is absolutely beautiful. They are gorgeous colors. They draw us in. They catch our attention. And sometimes, and of course there's lots of myths out there, especially being Irish, that there's a pot of gold. There's a pot of gold, me darling, at the end of the rainbow. So there's a little Irish for you. Yeah, maybe there are pots of gold at the end of the rainbow, and maybe they're not. So what rainbow are you choosing with the distraction of the pot of gold you are refusing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So we've got some questions in the chat room, which I love. So Sue says, I got to find the question, are rainbows or obsessions with rainbows distractors? So Sue, what do you know? Something that catches your attention and has you frustrated, I would say. Well, that will have the energy of distraction. So, we all have these things that niggle. You know how you have those niggles in your mind where I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing this. Well, shoulds, you don't want to be shoulding all over yourself. And yet, if you're in business, there are things that there is a structure that you absolutely must have to create in this reality, right? If you're in business, you have to do your books. You have to do your taxes. You absolutely want to invoice people so that you're paid. You would, want to have a website. You want to have information there. You want to have links where people can connect with you. You want to have a phone number, an email address. You want to have all of these things in place so that they lead people to you, right? That they're a path to people finding you and finding out more about you. And if there are things that you have a business and you have a creation that you desire people to be invited to, and you don't have these, your T's crossed and your I's dotted, then if you are paying attention to something, if you are being pulled over to play with something, or you're getting all of these ideas that are actually stopping you from putting the foundation of your business in place so that people can find you and choose you, then you will be feeling this niggling. There will be this niggling. Sometimes it will wake you up. Sometimes it'll be in the back of your head, and you will try to avoid it. So if there's anything that you feel like you're trying to avoid, and I have done it a million times, guys, so I know the energy of that, just check in. If the distraction isn't exciting, but it literally is like, I don't want to look over there at this other thing, you can bet it is a distraction. It's not actually an invitation for creating greater. And what if you are looking at something? So here's another piece of this. If you have all these different ideas that are popping, and you keep going over to the next big idea, the next big idea, the next big idea, and you're not actually bringing anything to fruition, or even talking to your business, talking to your events, talking to your creations, then they may be things that can come to fruition and be a contribution. But if you're not following through, if you're not actually bringing everything into the creative energy, the generative energy, the institutive energy, putting things in place, you have an idea for a book, and you keep having all of these ideas, but you don't sit and actually write the idea down. You don't begin to write the book. You never actually publish the book, and that still niggles at you. Then the next great idea that you have, you can have the same energy come up. You actually might start having this self-doubt come in that I don't follow through. So if that's happening, if that's something you've ever created with your ideas and they're not coming into fruition, then right now I would like you to just drop your barriers. Everybody drop your barriers right now, please. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good. Expand. And now I would like you to just allow the judgment of anything you've ever not followed through with to wash away. Just let it go. Your creation and your business does not have a judgment of you, does not have a judgment of you when you have or have not followed through with the idea, with the creation. But if this is something that has come to you, if you have an idea that's been percolating, please know that all of the energy in the universe is available to you and ready and is supporting you to bring that into fruition. So everywhere that you are judging yourself right now, please destroy and create all of that, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And now I want you to allow the energy of one of these creations, because I know that people are having ideas all of the time. Allow the energy of one of those creations to come into fruition. Have it come, pull it in right now, and have it wrap itself around you. Get into the energy of that idea. Awesome. Now, if you are not driving and you have a piece of paper and pen, I would like you to please write your idea down right now. Just write it down. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It's the craziest idea in the world that nobody would ever believe or buy or support you on. Does not matter. I want you to write it down. Because here's the thing, guys. What you want to do is you want to start strengthening that muscle of creation. Okay? And one of the greatest distractors, you guys ready? One of the greatest rainbows that we've dressed up in pretty, pretty colors is judgment. So everywhere you're using self-judgment as the distractor from keeping you from being all of you and bringing these friggin' amazing ideas into fruition in the universe that has been waiting for you to birth them, can we please now destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, pock, pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Judgment is a lie. Judgment is a lie, and judgment is the lie that you bought about not being able to bring something into fruition from all of those other people out there that are buying the lie too. So right now, I want you to tap into the energy of when you judged that you couldn't bring that idea into fruition. You got it? Okay, now I want you to ask, who does that judgment belong to? Return to sender, consciousness attached. Please know that there are 7 billion of us on the planet, and we are all connected, and the energy of creation is there all the time. It's continuously flowing. It's like a tap you cannot turn off. Try as you might, you can't turn it off. So if you're having constant ideas coming in, and you're not actually, quote unquote, following through, then imagine the amount of self-judgment that 7 billion people can actually have. And you, my friends, you can pick up on the energy of where people are all the friggin' time. Oh my God, this is so much fun. So I'm getting really warm right now. This is what occurs when I start to get charged up, girls. I start to get warm. So how does it get any better than that? Judgment is the greatest distraction ever created, because guess what it does? It keeps you small. And you did not come here in this time and space, and you did not embody to be small. You chose to come because you knew that you had something to contribute. You know you've got that whisper happening inside of you all of the time. And oh, you do try to squash it, and you do try to do the quote-unquote normal thing that everybody else out there is trying themselves to do, but you know it's not working. You know that's a lie. The self-judgment that you are throwing at yourself night and day is distracting you from stepping up and being all of you. So if you weren't judging yourself, or you weren't judging that you didn't start that project, that you didn't start this, that you didn't start that, and you just right now said, what would be fun to create today? And you just took one step, just one step forward into that creation, do you think that possibly it might be one step closer to coming to fruition? Guys, it's that simple. And it's not always easy. I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt. It's not always easy, but it's that simple. It's one step a day, one step a day, one step a day, one step a day. That's what it actually is required. So step number 1 was to acknowledge your idea. Step number 2 was to write it down. And step number 3 was to let go of all the judgment of where you actually didn't do any of this. Okay, we're going to go for our break, our second break of the night. Holy moly, how did it go so fast? And when we get back, I'm going to teach you a tool that was taught to me that I used in the business world when I was in human resources. That was an amazing tool that every time I share it with people, they just go, oh my God. So please stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to get deeper into the distractions and the rainbows and everything about creation. So you are listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be back right after the commercial break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right. How are you doing? Are you ready to have more of your creations? Okay. So I had a question that just came in from Facebook, and the person is asking, what happens if you aren't getting those creative ideas? Like as if something is holding those ideas back. Oh my gosh, I know this so much. I absolutely had that going on with me because I desired so much for it to come in. What was happening was I was contracting. So your energy starts to contract when you are like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's like you can just feel the contraction start to happen. I want this to happen and nothing's happening. Okay, first of all, it's always happening. So destroy and uncreate all of those ideas. Drop your barriers and expand. One of the great things, and a very good friend of mine, Carol Glover, and I did when we started, we really wanted to get into doing more creation, but we didn't have the ideas coming in, is we went outside in nature and we started to go for a walk in nature, whether you're by the water or you can walk in the forest or you can go skiing. When you are in nature, while it may seem that nature distracts you, we drop our barriers because we will receive nature more than we will receive so much else that's going on around us. So when you're in nature, the creative ideas can come to you with a little bit more ease. And whether it's the smallest little thing, write it down, put it in your phone, just speak into record it, the idea, and allow yourself to receive. So everywhere you're not willing to receive the creative ideas with total ease, can we destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So nature is absolutely amazing. Another place in nature is to go get your hands in the dirt and actually get out there in the garden, get out there in whether it's flowers or it's vegetables or fruit or whatever. Get your hands into the dirt. Start to ground yourself into nature. That idea will get you creating. Another thing that gets my ideas flowing is actually, and you may have seen the video, is actually baking. That's creating. That's working with all of nature in your kitchen and all of the beautiful things that are available to us. So get your hands in there and absolutely start to create something with your hands. When you get out of your head and you start to work with what's around you and with your hands, the ideas can come a little bit easier. I know a lot of people that they get their creative ideas that download when they're in the shower or they're in the bathtub. Now, please don't take your phone in there because you might ruin it. But that, if you would be willing to receive the ideas and knowing that they're there, the little ones can start to come little by little. So here's something that before we went to break, so thank you so much for that question. Here was something that before we went to break that I wanted to share with you. This program that we used, it was a personality program. It was called Traffic. And it was very valuable to me, and I'm wondering how many people out there that have lots of ideas that this might be valuable to them as well. So this program called Traffic, there's three, think of a traffic light, the red, the yellow, and the green. So there are three different primary states in the personality, and we usually have one is our primary and one is our secondary. We have all three of these colors, but usually you have got one that's most, and then there's a secondary one, and then the third comes in occasionally. So red, if you're a red brainer, we call you a red brainer, you are somebody who crosses the T and dots the I's. You are a detailed person. You may be somebody that creates websites. You may be somebody who you're an editor. You may be someone who is an accountant, someone who really is all about the details. I mean, mothers can be all about the details. They're remembering all these different things all of the time. If you have OCD, you might be very strong about the details because you like everything in its proper place. So for a red brain person, they cannot begin a project until they can see the beginning, the middle, and the end of the project, okay? Now, a yellow brain person is somebody who has ideas all of the time. Ideas are just popping all of the time. Your entrepreneurs, your people who have ADD oftentimes are massive idea people. Some of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world are ADD people, okay? They have all of these ideas, and they are often criticized because they don't, quote-unquote, follow through. That's not their strong suit. Their strong suit is ideas, okay? A green brain person is somebody who they just need the bare bones of something, they just need the bullet points of it, and then leave them alone and let them go, okay? If you bury that person in detail, they cannot move. You suffocate them, all right? So we have all three, and you may recognize yourself in all of them. Let me tell you about myself, and this is the piece that I thought might be a big contribution to a lot of people out there. My personality in this program is I am like a 68 red and a 67 yellow, okay? So I am having ideas popping all the time. But when my brain cannot see the beginning and the middle and the end of that project, I literally get frozen and I cannot begin. So for so many years, I judged myself that I was procrastinating or that I really sucked at creating. And when I learned this about the brain and how my brain was wired in this program, it gave me so much space and relief from no longer judging myself. So what I began to do was I said, okay, I talked to my red brain as if it was a friend. And I said, it's okay. We got this. So what I would begin to do is I would write, when I wanted to move forward with something, I would just write the date down. If all I could do was write the date down, it started to give me just a little bit of space on it. And then I would write down maybe the title on it. And I would still have, for me, this is what occurred, I would still have sometimes the anxiousness in me. But when I would take each of these steps, whether I took each of them all in the same day or I did them over several days, the space started to open up and it started to open up. It really hit me hard when I would be studying for a really big exam, because I would see the whole body of work that I needed to study, and I would be paralyzed because I couldn't imagine that I could actually get through the whole thing. So when I could just get through so many pages or go through so many questions, I could begin to breathe. And I would say, it's okay, we're just going to do this for just a little while. Here's a really cool tool. Put your timer on your computer, your phone, or your microwave or whatever. Put it on for 20 minutes and work in your creation just for 20 minutes. And then give yourself a break for 20 minutes. And then come back to it for 20 minutes. And then take another break for 20 minutes. But don't go over those 20 minutes for the first day. You will start to shift that. If you're somebody who is like me, that has a ton of ideas but has a hard time starting, this can be a huge contribution to that. Okay? If you'd like to know more about that, or you want to have some questions, please feel free to email me, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Okay, so back to distraction or a nudge. I wanted to talk about that. So how do I know whether it's a distraction or it's a nudge? A lot of the times you may get a distraction, and check the energy of the distraction. You can actually ask the distraction, truth, will this be a contribution to my creations? Now, you might want to go jump onto Facebook and go play on Facebook for a little while, but be honest with yourself, okay? Be straight up with yourself. If you're somebody that desires to create a business, then hold yourself accountable. Ask yourself, if you were the boss of you, the employee, would you fire yourself because you were too distracted? I know I worked in human resources, and I had to fire people because they were not doing their job. Are you willing to fire yourself or hold yourself accountable for seriously doing what's required? Yeah, go be distracted for a little while, but come back and really hold yourself accountable to following through on the things that you desire, because you are the creator of everything in your life. And if you're desiring to create your business or a new creation wants to come through, it really honor that, and honor that by giving it the time and the attention, okay? So ask yourself, is this a distraction or is this a nudge that will contribute? And just follow the energy on that. If you get a light or you get a hell yes, then follow it for a while. And then come back to the originally planned program in your life for that day. And if it comes up again, keep asking questions. The questions will empower you to know if the universe is trying to give you some awareness. The light and heavy tool that we talk about in Access Consciousness can be a major contribution for you learning whether the universe is talking to you or not. If something continues to niggle at you, ask some questions about it. The nudges from the universe are happening all of the time. I am telling you, in the past 3 years, the amount of awareness and nudges that I have been getting about my creations has been massive. And they didn't always come to fruition immediately. But as I continued to follow the acknowledging them and writing them down and asking questions of them, you could ask the question, you could have a list of some of your ideas, and you could just say, so which one of you would like some attention today? Like if you had children, which one of you would like some attention today? And just because you don't follow through fully on a creation today doesn't mean it may not come to fruition down the line. But if you could start to drop the self-judgment of the when and the how, and you could really begin to step in and asking questions of the creation and of your business, you could begin to create faster than you ever even imagined was possible. That is something that I love to do, is actually speaking to the creations and speaking to my business. And when I ask the questions and just follow the energy on it, it starts to change every single time. Whenever I would go from the logic and the linear, or what will people think, and I pulled in judgment, I was looking for the right and the wrong, or I was attached to it being all about the money, it didn't follow through. It wasn't a great contribution to my life and my business. So when I started to step back and really nurture the ideas and speak to them, it started to change big time. Okay, we are up for our third break already. Holy moly, this time goes fast. And when we get back, we're gonna wrap this up. If you have any questions in the chat room, I would love to hear from you. And if you have questions, you're listening to this in the replay, please email me. I love to hear from my listeners. So it's Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can connect with me on Facebook at Inspired Choices Inc., or my newest creation with my co-creator, Rhonda Burns, B.I.G. Living Now. You can certainly talk to me there, and I'll talk a little bit more about this when we get back from break. So you're listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm, and we will be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is A2Zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. holy moly, this has been a fast show tonight, and a show, and as someone said in the chat room, with pragmatic tools. I love working with individuals to really look at not only the energy, but some very strong step-by-step how-tos. Because you know what? That's what works for me. And if you're somebody out there that really desires to move forward and you don't have the skills because you've never done it before, that's where a coach like myself or many other coaches in the world can assist you. And I would love to, I'm going to self-promote right now. I'm really good at what I do, and I bet you are really good at what you do as well. I have got this big creation coming up, BIG, and this BIG program is all about getting you out of the lies of the judgment that you can't create and out of the lies that you cannot move forward. It's about busting the ceiling on the limitations you've got into. It's really about becoming more of you right now. And it is going to be completely about tools that you're going to walk away and you are going to implement. And let me tell you, I hold my clients accountable. And I know Rhonda does as well. And we are determined that if you say yes, I'm going to kick your butt. Are you ready? My clients know, listen, you didn't hire me to be your best friend. I'm going to kick your ass. If you're really ready to change it and stop letting yourself off the quote-unquote hook of the lies with the judgment, I will kick your ass. We be the tough love club. Exactly. Thank you, Rhonda, because you know what? That is the other side of us. We are so soft and gentle. We are a safe place to land where you can move beyond. I have clients that, you know, they have told me some adorable things that they appreciate the kindness and the gentleness and the lovely ass-kicking that I give them. One of the clients in the chat room says she sure does kick your ass and you will love it. I do honor another being having a desire for change. The change that you create in becoming more of you that is already there, that you're just finding a roadmap to, that thrills me to the bits of my toenails, to the tips of my hair. I absolutely love seeing people moving forward and it gives me so much joy when a client contacts me and lets me know that something changed for them. It thrills me. It absolutely thrills me because I know everything is possible. You know what, guys? I could have gone on and on and on tonight, and, you know, there's so much more that we can be talking about and moving and changing. But the fact of the matter is that we don't have enough time tonight. You know, this new creation, the BIG creation, it's starting next week. And if you're willing to invest both your energy, your time, your conviction to honor you and to honor your creations, and you're willing to invest the money that it takes to join this huge movement, I'm telling you, you will be thrilled with the changes that start to come about. This creation of ours, Rhonda Burns and myself, has been bubbling for over a year and a half. And we knew it was there, and we honored it, and we played with it. The BIG has taught me how to honor the unfolding of a creation. And the potency that the two of us be, and the potency that you will bring to also to the call, and the tribe that will have your back in this creation will knock your socks off. I challenge you to come play. If you do nothing else this year, but you commit to yourself, I will commit to you. And I will be there to kick your butt, to put my arms around you, to allow you to scream and cry and laugh and play, and we will change what is not working for you. Thank you so much all for being here tonight, for playing, for asking your questions, for the contribution that you be. It is amazing. Please join me next week. We are going. We will put the link in the show for tonight, and you will you'll be able to connect with me there. Next week's show is going to be potent. It's I can't remember the title. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.